Hi, my name is Rich Bracken, and I'm an executive coach and keynote speaker, and I'm excited to share with you today 2 skills that are absolutely critical to add into your skill set as you move through college and exit college and go into the workforce. No matter what industry you're going into, no matter what job title you want to have, even if you want to start your own business, no matter what you want to do, these 2 skills are absolutely paramount to have if you want to be successful and satisfied in your personal and professional life. Those 2 skills are executive presence and emotional intelligence. Now, as I speak with organizations and companies across the country and around the world, what I'm finding is that some people are not investing in these skills until later in their career. Why this is important is that you can have a leg up on your competition, and as you enter the workforce, and especially as you're moving through college, these skills are really important to lower your anxiety, become more successful, and become happier with what you're doing. So I just want to give you a sneak peek into these 2 different skill sets and why they're important and what you can expect to benefit in either way, both personally and professionally, with emotional intelligence and executive presence. So let's talk about executive presence first. Why this is important is that there are lots of people that I have worked with and seen in organizations that are very smart. They're subject matter experts. They're really knowledgeable about what they do. But maybe their brand doesn't carry very strong. Maybe they're not very effective communicators. Maybe they don't persuade very well. Maybe they're not transferring the knowledge that they have into the individual that they're talking to, because it's important to understand that we can talk a certain way, but if it's not being received the same way, we're not going to have the same kind of impact. So think about something like public speaking. It is the most important skill as a professional to have because, number one, most people are terrified of public speaking or they're not very good or comfortable at it. So when they give presentations or they're talking with their team, they tend to tense up, they get very nervous, they're delivering content too fast, or they're not presenting the information in a way that their audience can understand it concisely. So when we think about how we portray our personal brand and how we give the confidence as a public speaker, it's all about body language. How are you standing? How are you engaging the audience with eye contact? What is your pace like? What is your storytelling like? All of these things are easy when we think about the idea of just sharing our knowledge in a way that helps other people. That will enhance your executive presence instantly when you're speaking publicly or speaking internally at a company meeting or just having a conversation at a networking meeting. Also consider things like your personal brand. How are you presenting yourself? How are you dressing? How are you carrying yourself from a confidence standpoint? What do you look like when you walk into a room? How do you look when you're sitting at a conference table with your team? All of these things make up your personal brand from an appearance standpoint. But when we think about also our social media presence, because we need to portray the same image online that we are in person. Especially when you think about leadership or moving up your career, it is really important that you maintain a positive attitude in social media, that you're very authentic, but you also share a little bit of personal side so that people can get to know you better. Because once we feel comfortable with someone, we trust them more. Now, I do want to share 2 quick insights with you that are critical to your executive presence and how you can enhance it more often and faster during your career path. Number 1, the concept of self-belief. You'd be shocked at how many professionals truly don't have the confidence that they should have, or they battle imposter syndrome all the time. I talk with executives at companies every single day, and every single one of them at some level exhibits some sort of insecurity, lack of self-belief, or that imposter syndrome that creeps in every now and then. So when we think about how we talk to ourselves positively, the studies show that we have 60,000 thoughts a day. 45,000 of those, 75% of your thoughts, are either repetitive, they're basically just neutral or numb, or they're negative. So when we think about the fact that 25% of our thoughts are actually positive, if you start working on that now and start talking about daily affirmations, positive self-talk, what can you do to build yourself up? What are things and characteristics about you that you really like? Because we are bombarded with comparison all the time. So start influxing a lot of positive self-talk into your day. When you get up in the morning, throughout the day, and before you go to bed at night, what are you really good at? What do you enjoy doing? What's passionate to you? Those kinds of things will build your confidence and send you into any conversation, into any day, into any scenario with the ability to take on anything that comes your way. So self-belief is a critical piece of this that you need to start working on now. And the other inside piece of information I'm going to give you is the concept of consistent improvement. Now, we don't want to hear that we are not good at something or that we are falling short at something or that somebody else is better than us at something. But when we think about the concept of self-improvement, this is something that a lot of people do not pay attention to. because we don't want to ask for things like feedback. We're terrified of what we may hear. So if you ask for feedback, people are giving you the opportunity to improve. They're seeing things that may be a blind spot to you, and they're giving you the chance to improve on those. Because there's nothing worse than thinking that you're moving along at an optimal level, that you're successful, that everything is going right, but you have this glaring blind spot that nobody has informed you about. So if you ask for feedback, ask for different inputs from different people, ask from your professors or your classmates, your friends, your guidance counselor, whoever you need to talk to, find out what you could be doing better. And the key to this is you can't battle back on that. All you can say is thank you, because they're giving you the opportunity to get better. And that in itself is a valuable conversation to have. So ask for feedback whenever you can. If you fall short on something, ask what you could have done better. These are the opportunities that you have to improve, and they are also building your humility and your resilience to be better. These are skills and factors of our personality that most executives, especially top executives, struggle with. So again, this gives you a leg up to start your career on the right foot. And a big part of executive presence is the other topic that I love talking about, which is emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is the concept of dealing with our own emotions and understanding our own emotions, and managing and working with those that we talk with, that we're in class with, that we work with, or that we're just interacting with in a social setting. The easiest way to remember emotional intelligence is that you have two components. You have a personal acumen and you have a social acumen. So when we think about our personal acumen, those are things like self-awareness, what you're feeling, what your emotions are, how you're perceiving your emotions in any scenario, and also your self-management and what you're doing with those emotions. The personal acumen side of emotional intelligence is absolutely critical to start down that path of success with your emotional intelligence. Because I never ever tell an audience or talk to anybody that I discuss emotional intelligence with that I tell them like, oh, you're never going to be in a bad mood again, or you're never going to feel stressed again, or you're never going to feel anxious, you're never going to be angry again. Absolutely you are. You're going to feel those emotions because you're human. But what you do with them, your self-management, is really up to you. How you react to those situations, how you manage your emotions, whether or not you stay mad or stay upset is completely up to you. And when we understand how to use our self-management in those scenarios, we actually bounce back quicker. We become more resilient and we make better decisions. And on the social acumen side of things, we talk about social awareness, how we're interacting with other people. Are we good active listeners? Are we engaging conversations? Are we reading body language? Are we repeating back things as we're being told them so that we fully understand what somebody else is trying to say to us? The biggest trick here that I want to give you is that we are always attached to our phones. So the next time somebody comes and talks with you, please put your phone away. I know it's hard. It's a bad habit. I have that habit too. But when I am more mindful about putting my phone away when somebody's talking to me, I'm not distracted by my phone or my notifications. I'm paying full attention to what is going on and what that person is saying to me. Because if you were sharing information with somebody else, you would want the same respect. So practice that habit immediately, and you will have a big effect on how you're engaging and listening and talking with other people and how much respect they feel. And the good news is when they find that you're giving them more respect, you enhance your relationship management, which is the fourth piece of emotional intelligence. So if you think about your friends or your classmates or your professors, it is really important to think about these individuals on a scale from 1 to 10. So think about the first 5 people that come to mind. Everybody's on a different level. You may have some people that are 2s and some people that are 8. Now, how we manage those relationships is totally up to us. We can get somebody from a 2 to a 5, and sometimes that's the best case scenario. Or if you have somebody that's at a 5, maybe you can increase them to a 7 by asking them how they're doing, engaging in what they're interested in, active listening through social awareness, asking all of the things that you need to know about them to engage and see how you can engage them and help them in a stronger, more connected manner. They're easy to work on with the right information. They're impactful when you change them in a positive way, but both emotional intelligence and executive presence are the keys to your success moving forward, both personally and professionally. So yes, absolutely study as hard as you can, learn everything you possibly can, but also the keys to true success are the complements to your academics through emotional intelligence and executive presence. I am so thankful to each and every one of you for watching this, and let's talk about how we can enhance your emotional intelligence and your executive presence sometime soon. Take care.